Hey guys, it's been quite a while since I made a YouTube video and did photography, and I'm going to explain why that is in a little bit. But first I kind of want to talk about my plans to do large format photography this year. So 3 years ago I went to Zion National Park and I did digital photography, and I got a lot of really great shots. It was a really successful trip. I went to the Narrows, the East Side, and I pretty much got most of the photos that I wanted to get on digital. But since I've seen so many film photographers go to Zion and make these beautiful images on film, I've always wanted to kind of recreate these or go back and get new photos with the large format camera. When I stopped doing photography, I kind of left off doing a couple trips with large format, and then I even did a trip to Death Valley, which I didn't post a video about because I had some issues with the photos. And that's what I want to do this fall. Probably going to be there for a week in October to shoot fall color. And I'm also probably going to be in Utah or maybe Zion for the winter as well for large format. So that's like the two big trips that I'm really excited for. And in terms of YouTube videos, I'm kind of picking up where I left off on too. I'm going to try to upload a video once a week or every other week. And right now I'm kind of trying to figure out some places that I would want to go for an in the field large format video. So let me get into why it's been so long since I've done YouTube. Some of it has been because I got distracted by things in high school. Some of it was kind of because I went to my first year in college and I really wasn't able to do any photography then, but I think the biggest reason is just because I lost motivation for photography. And it's kind of weird and hard to explain because I really loved doing photography and I was becoming really successful with my photography and my YouTube channel. But it's just something that I kind of lost interest in as I got distracted by other things. But recently I've moved to San Antonio, Texas, and I've had a lot of time to just kind of reflect and look back on like my old photos and just the fun experiences I had doing photography and the cool people who I met on the internet through doing my YouTube videos, and I've kind of like regained my inspiration for photography and specifically for large format. So I might be doing a little bit of digital in the future, just to get out and practice a little bit, but I really want to return to large format. So I hope if you used to watch my videos, that kind of explains where I've been for the past couple of years. If you're new, stick around because I'm going to show you some of the photos that I got in Zion back in 2017, and also a couple photos that I got that same year when I did a photography road trip with my dad. So stick around and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So in the spirit of returning to Zion this year, I really want to look back through these old photos to get inspiration and kind of see which locations I want to return to. There's a couple photos that I got here and I just really want to see what they look like on film. I think they look really pretty, especially because film renders reflected light really well. So I'll start with this one. This is one of my favorites. I saw this location from looking at one of Alan Brock's photos, and I kind of wanted to come here and do my own version of it. This is like early on in the Narrows. Doesn't take that long to hike to, and it's one that you don't have to deal with a lot of stress or people because it lights up around 9 a.m. So one of the biggest problems with the Narrows is having to deal with all the people. First of all, you need to have like clear skies so you can get reflected light, but you also have to deal with a bunch of tourists. And what's nice about this is you can get in there on the first shuttle and you can just hike ahead of everybody and gain like a mile or two on everybody. And then you can get shots like this. And I think one of the other photos I'm going to show you is just around the corner from this. So yeah, this photo obviously has some really nice white water. And the one thing I don't really like about this photo is the trees. The fall color is a little bit blurry just because there was some wind, and I guess I really wasn't paying that much attention to it and trying to time it correctly. Other than that, there's not really any problems. The reflected light is really pretty, and I'd love to see how this looks on film too. Probably be one of the first shots I'd get if I could go in the Narrows this year. Okay, this was kind of an adventure to get to, and this was on my last day. I liked this photo a lot more when I took it. Looking at it now, it seems a bit bland to me, or something about it seems a bit messy, but I just saw the tree in the desert varnish when I was going through the main canyon, and I kind of hiked across the river, ran up on this hillside, and set up a photo real quickly. I didn't even film it because it was such a spontaneous thing. And there's a little bit of reflected light, but I think I could do much better. Now this is one that's kind of hard to see, so I don't even know if I could find this one again, and I'm not even really sure if I'd want to photograph it again. I feel like I just want to go and find new stuff, because there's plenty of stuff like that in Zion. Zion's pretty much like a playground for photography. If you can think of like the best place where you can get all the good lighting, you can get the really beautiful rock formations, the fall color, and then for river photography and whitewater photography in the river narrows, it's insane. It's one of my favorite types of photos to take. So this one is another really popular spot. This kind of lights up in the middle of the day around 3 p.m. I think, and usually you'd have to deal with a lot more people at this shot. I think I got pretty much the composition I wanted here. You can see there's a little bit of reflected light. It's not super strong, and you know, the fall color isn't completely there. The fall color is a little bit late on its way. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. I think I just want to make it on film though, because the reflected light's all right, but on film I think it would make that reflected light so much better. Let's skip this one. Okay, this one is probably my best photo that I did in Zion National Park. There's a lot of reflected light here. It's kind of a softer reflected light. It's not like there's some wall off in the distance that's catching a lot of reflected light. But the shape of this whitewater and the shape of the boulders, it kind of guides your eye through in like an S shape pretty much, and kind of leads you all the way up here to these really beautiful trees. And there's like a little lone tree up here on this cliffside. This one is really pretty. It's right down from the first one I showed you, so I think when I shot this, I got that first photo, and then I kind of walked down a bit to explore, and I found this. This is such a cool photo. I love this one. Okay, this is originally a photo I saw from Ben Horn, and I really wanted to get this one for myself. I even cropped it kind of large format just because it was inspired from large format, even though it's on digital. This one I'm pretty happy with the composition too. I definitely need to get like a wide lens for when I come back here. And yeah, this one is a little tricky. You have to kind of wait until the middle of the day to get this. You have to sit there for a few hours, and then you've got all these tourists coming back and forth. But I'm pretty sure for film with these exposures, like this is something like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. I'm pretty sure on film it's like several minutes. So as long as nobody plops down and decides to take their little break there, or get out their food and have a little snack break, I think it's fine. Okay, so that's it for the narrows. Now I'm just gonna show a couple, let's see. These are from my Western road trip that I did that same year. I'll start with this one. I think this is probably like my best photo that I got on the trip. The lighting's pretty nice. It's a bit hazy. It's something that I tried to edit before, and I have to kind of revisit again before I do anything with it. But these are bristlecone pines, and this is in the White Mountains. So basically these pine trees are thousands of years old. This one's obviously dead, but there's not really a lot of people here. It's mostly just kind of like stargazers and stuff like that, and a few photographers, but I also have Milky Way photos from here. I think I'm going to show you one of them in a second. And this one is just such a cool scene, because on either side of you, you can see the entirety of the Eastern Sierras, or you can see Death Valley National Park. So it's pretty crazy views. This one I don't like so much anymore. This was the first time I saw reflected light, so it's kind of like a special photo for me to get. And this was kind of large format inspired. You can see by the crop. I think a lot of these ones are, but I might just go back and uncrop them and put them on the website, because if I'm going to make large format photos, I want them to actually be film. But okay, here's the bristlecone pines again. This one is photographed a lot, but I still had to get it. I was kind of standing off to the side with a flashlight, and my dad was here. This is a good thing about having somebody to do photography with you. Usually it's bad. Usually you just want to be out there by yourself, but if you have someone to click the shutter button, it can help quite a bit. So I would light paint over there, and actually I may have had this on a timer. I may have had a little timer going to start the photo. Okay. Here's another one. This is the Alabama Hills, and this is just a little south, and it's in the valley in between the White Mountains and the Eastern Sierras. I was doing the same sort of deal where I'd be up here with a flashlight. This one I really had to have my dad kind of click the shutter button because it would be really hard to just run all the way over there in 30 seconds. Definitely doable though. I think that's where I'll stop it for these photos. But I hope you guys liked those photos from the Narrows in Zion. Let's see, if I had to pick my favorite one, I honestly can't decide, but you know, this is only like 6 photos. There's so many more photos I could get in the Narrows. And there's actually not even a photo on here from the east side of the park, even though I had some fun exploring around there. I really can't wait to go to the east side of the park with the large format. I think the east side lends really, really well with all that fall color. The east side is like the real playground for photographers. There's almost nobody out there, and you have so many different subjects, and you can like photograph it at pretty much any time of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and the next video will hopefully be in the field. If not, I'll probably show you some photos from Death Valley that I got. Some of them didn't turn out so well, but there are a couple that are pretty nice. So I'll see you guys in the next video.